Hello everyone, this is Spencer from Wealth Hacks, where we show you all of the hacks that the rich people are using to increase their incomes and their passive incomes. Cryptocurrency and investing, one of the great ways that they're doing that. So we're going to have a look, and we're going to look at kind of two ways that people are making money off Bitcoin, okay? The first one is the easy way that anyone could do with zero thought, and that's buy Bitcoin. Okay, so if you look at Bitcoin, we're going to look at Bitcoin over a period of about year and a half, 2 years. As you can see, Bitcoin was $2,500, okay? So about 2 years ago, Bitcoin, one single Bitcoin, cost $2,500, okay? If you bought when it cost $2,500 and you sold 6 months later, the value of a Bitcoin was $7,000. So what people were doing is buying Bitcoin at $2,000. Once it got up to $7,000, they were selling it, okay? So there's a link down below if you're interested in buying Bitcoin. You can go to Coinbase, kind of one of the big exchanges where you can buy and sell really easily. But this is to show you exactly how they're making money with it, okay? So buy at $2,000, sell at $7,000. It's that easy. Now, it's that easy, but obviously you can see that it goes up and down and up and down and up and down. It doesn't just go up forever. But that's the concept of how people are making money with Bitcoin, okay? So that's just straight investing. The second way is what's called day trading, using kind of charts and try to figure out where Bitcoin is going to go in the short term. So they'll buy and sell maybe in an hour or two or a week, much more short term, and they're trying to make just a little bit of money over and over and over again. So we're going to look at this particular section right here to kind of go over what I'm talking about. So this is a period of about 4 months, okay? And as you can see, Bitcoin in the last 4 months, pretty steady downtrend, okay? But if you look here, you can see there's kind of a line. I could almost draw a line from here to there and from there to there. You see that? There's a line. And that's called a trend. And you can see that when the price of Bitcoin, which this chart represents the price of Bitcoin, when it hits that line, so when it hits right on that line, it starts to go up, okay? So let's look at this chart. You can see right here, it bounced. It was December 10th, 2017. The price of Bitcoin hit that line and it started to climb. Went all the way up to 19,000. About a month later, right in the beginning of January, it got back down to that line again. It hit 12,000 and then it bounced all the way back up. Then it went all the way down, as you can see. And once it hit that line again, you can see that line, ding, 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 it bounced. So at 7,000, it had another big bounce, okay? So it continues to go down. So Bitcoin is going down, the price of Bitcoin over the long run. But in individual days, you can see that it hits and it bounces and it hits and it bounces. And so people buy, they buy right here. They're looking at this chart and, you know, they might be looking at a 2-day view or a 3-day view or a 2-month view. There's a lot of different like views you can narrow in on and see different, you can see charts that look just like this. But what they're doing is they're just seeing patterns. There's a pattern that whenever it hits that line, it bounces. So a good example would be if I followed that line all the way down to like here-ish. So if Bitcoin ever hit, heaven forbid, 2,000, that would be hitting that line again. And I would put everything I had into Bitcoin at that point because it's very, very likely it's going to bounce. And there's a lot of reasons behind that, but just know that it's very likely it's going to bounce. So that's what people are doing. They're buying and selling. They're buying low and they're selling high. They're buying when the price is low and they're selling high. And all they're doing is looking for patterns that show when the price turns around, when it stops dropping and starts going up for a little bit, and they buy and then sell at the top. So someone will buy here for 7,000 and sell here for 10,000. Okay, and that's really the really dumbed down gist of what they're doing. Now, there's obviously a lot that goes into that and a lot of understanding and a lot of just time spent learning and seeing these charts, but that's the gist of it. Now, before you go and just dive in and put a ton of money into Bitcoin and throw it all at this doesn't always work, okay? This method wins, let's say, 60% of the time and loses 40% of the time, and so you're still making money in the long run, but there are plenty of losses, and if you're just diving in with a ton of your money, just don't do that. This is to show you how I would buy a total investment course, a Bitcoin investment course. Go to Udemy or a site like Udemy, Udemy, and buy an investment course, and that's how I would go about this. But this is how people are doing it. It looks simple on paper, maybe not quite as simple in reality, but conceptually, yes, very simple. So if you liked this video and you want to learn more about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and how to build passive incomes and retire early and awesome things like that, slap the unsubscribe button down. It's either there or there. Anyway, slap subscribe, and you'll see tons of awesome videos like this. Thanks so much, guys.